Good evening. Tonight we will be discussing the Eight of Swords and its place in the Minor Arcana. The Eight of Swords is the eighth card of the suit of swords. It is the embodiment of fear and restraint, and of seemingly an impossible situation. This card is represented by a woman who is both tied and blindfolded. Unlike the calm and serene woman from the Two of Swords, this woman has very obviously not willingly entered into this situation. She is surrounded by a cage made up of 8 swords. This cage appears inescapable. The woman is obviously afraid to move, and perhaps afraid to stay where she is. She can see no way out of her present situation without experiencing pain. As she is unwilling to do this, she stays exactly where she is, paralyzed by her own fear. When appearing in a spread, this card implies a situation where you might be afraid to move, afraid to act. This is because if you move, you'll be cut to pieces by the cage of swords. Staying put, however, is not an option either, for this will only prolong your agony. This card is the very representation of being between a rock and a hard place. Of all the cards of the tarot, this is the one that describes an impossible situation where there is no good or right choice. It may be that you must choose between the lesser of two evils. You can prolong this decision as long as you like, but that will not make this situation go away. The Eight of Swords is the image of being held prisoner by overwhelming fear. It is important to realize that the ropes that bind and the blindfold are not truly imposed by some outside force. Instead, they represent your own fear. It is this fear that keeps you still and immobile, much like the woman seen in this card. The longer you stay in this situation, the worse it becomes. The more restrained you are, and the harder it is to break free. This is the card that represents those times when you are in a situation where you are afraid to speak or to act, but by not speaking or acting, you only constrain yourself further. If you draw this card, consider it a message. It suggests that you must have the strength to endure the cuts, or you will remain within the cage forever. You must act or speak, for the longer you let the situation continue, the worse it will become. The Eight of Swords, when encountered in its reversed position, is a card that indicates a light at the end of the tunnel. Restrictions will lift, but depression, difficulties, and maybe a battle or two will have to be struggled through first. There may be illness, accidents, a prison sentence, or even a death in your circle, but you will eventually emerge from the darkness and see the light again. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time when we discuss the Nine of Swords and how it relates to the Fool's journey. Blessed be.